What is going on, you guys? Nesoa here with my first ever YouTube video, and this is going to be the deck profile of my Orcust list post Eternity Code, so just with Gearsu basically and access code Talker. And I feel like my decks are just a little bit different than other people's. There's a few spicy different things that I think make the deck a lot better and make it able to compete with like Adamantipator and Eldritch type decks, or just any decks with like disruption. So yeah, let's just get straight into the video. So we'll start with the main deck. I play 3 Gearsu because he's pretty much the best card in the deck now. 2 Nightmare. I was playing 3 Nightmare. I've cut it down to 2 since adding Gearsu to the deck, because I feel like you have enough Orcust names now to not warrant playing the 3rd one. And yeah, I feel like it was just a dead card when I was drawing it, and I just cut it for just consistency reasons really, and to make room for some of the cards that I'm playing in the deck. So then I played 2 Symbol Skeleton, because you have to play 2. I'm also playing 2 Bombard. Now usually people only play about 1 of these, or none even, some builds I've seen. But with Needle Fiber being a card, this is just so easy to summon, and with Gearsu, if you have Gearsu in hand, you can just send this and then special summon the Gearsu, and you have room to then normal summon like Scrap Recycler or Armageddonite and other cards like that are pretty useful. So Bombard's actually really good in this deck. Then I'm playing 2 World Wand, because it's World Wand. It's a really good card. Send your plays, and drawing 1 isn't even that bad, because if you can send the other one, you can special summon it, or you can discard it with Dark Gruffer. So it's just a really good card. And then for the, that's it for the Orcust monsters. And then for the Scrap Engine, I'm playing 3 Scrap Recycler. He's just a really good combo card, and to go with him, Scrap Golem. It's just a 1 card, instant Destruction Sword combo, so it's really good. It's worth playing. It just adds to consistency of the deck. And then the 2 sends are the Jet Synchron. I know a lot of people have been playing O-Line instead of the 2nd Jet Synchron, but I feel like in this deck specifically, Jet Synchron is better, just because it allows you to ditch a card from hand. So if you have like a dead Orcust card, or just an Orcust card you want in the graveyard, then you can send it with a Jet Synchron. So opening up Jet Synchron and Scrap Recycler doesn't mean you can't make that play. I do think O-Line is really good, but I think in this deck specifically, Jet Synchron is just that tiny bit better, so I just wanted to play in the 2nd Jet Synchron over the O-Line. That's it for the Scrap Engine. And then for the monsters that are not an archetype specific, 1 Armageddonite, 1 Dark Gruff, 1 Destruction Sword, because I am playing the Destruction Sword lock. My new card that I've added to the deck recently is a Prentice Illusion Magician. It's just basically a dark monster that can be special summoned from the hand by discarding a card. Very similar to Dark Gref, but he doesn't have to be a level 5 or higher dark monster. It can literally just be any card. So you draw like 2 returns, you can ditch 1, special summon this, and continue to make plays if they've disrupted you, if they've like Ash Blossomed you Gearsu or whatever. It just allows you to continue plays and play through interruptions. So it's really good. And that's it for the monsters. And then into the spells, I play 2 Orchestrated Return. I was playing 3 for a long time, but I've cut it down to 2 just to make room for like the Scrap Engine and the Gearsus and other stuff in the deck. There just wasn't enough room to play the 3rd. I do really like this card, and I like opening this card, so it was difficult for me to cut, but I think it's alright at 2. You don't see it too often. You don't see it in multiples. It's nice. And then for the quite strange card, playing 3 Forbidden Lands. Now the only reason I'm playing this card is because we don't have the cross hit card, the OCG card that like banishes a card from your deck and negates the effects of that card. They use it to get rid of like hand traps, like Imperm and stuff like that, and Maxi. If that was out in the TCG right now, I'd be playing that over this, but that's not out, and it just basically allows you to play through an Imperm. So if they try and imperm your Gearsu, you can just Forbidden Lance it, or you can even set this, and when they try and attack with no more your IP or your Ding, you can Forbidden Lance it so they can't destroy it, or if they try and to try and get out of like the Destruction Sword lock, they can like use like Lightning Storm and stuff. It just protects you against a few spawn trap cards. It's alright. And then again with the hand traps, 3 called by, because hand traps are a problem in this deck at the beginning. Once you get into the later turns, hand traps are not that bad. It's just the first turn you want to make sure your Gearsu or your Recycler resolves, so you can just fuel your grave. As soon as your grave's fueled, you can pretty much play through most things. Then for the 1-ofs, we'll play 1 Babble, 1 World Legacy Succession, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Rota, and 1 Reasoning. Again, the Reasoning is only in here for the extensions, like the Apprentice Illusion Magician. It's just here to play through hand traps and just play through Disruption. It's actually a really good card because we play a varied amount of levels, and it's very hard to call the right card, the right level. I guess the best level to call against the deck is probably about 3, just because of the Scrap Recyclers. But then even if they do that and they hit a skeleton, like if skeleton's in the grave, that's what you want. And if they do hit the Scrap Recycler, then that's a risk you're willing to take. There's only 3 cards in a 50 card deck, in a 40 card deck, so it's a really good card, and most of the time you'll special summon off of it. That's it for the spells, and then we'll play 4 traps. So I play 1 Crescendo and 3 Infinite Impermanence. It's my only hand trap in the deck. I was playing Nibiru for a bit, because Nibiru is actually really good in this deck, because you can chain your Orcust effect and then just keep the Nibiru in hand. But I had to cut it to make room for the Scrap Engine. So yeah, that's why I had to go. But I did want to keep the Imperm just because of how powerful Imperm is, being able to dodge like Call By and stuff like that. It's just a really good card. And the Crescendo, I'm not really a big fan of Crescendo. However, with the Apprentice Illusion Magician, there's actually a really cool combo where if you open like both these 2 and then like nothing else usable, you can ditch the Crescendo, special summon the Apprentice Illusion Magician, banish the Crescendo, search out Gearsu, normal summon Gearsu, get his effect. So it does have uses in this deck. It's really good because it banishes, but like it's not amazing, but it comes up. It's very useful. That's it for the main deck. It's 40 cards, and then onto the extra deck. So the first card I'm playing is Access Code Talker, and it's my only Link 4. You could play Appaloosa if you can find room, but I honestly couldn't find room to play a lot of cards that I wanted to play in this extra deck. So Appaloosa just didn't make the cut, and Access Code Talker I feel is just so crucial with breaking boards that Adder opponent up and Eldritch. It's just too good of a card not to play. Then for the Link 3s, I'm playing 1 Unicorn and 1 Longearsu. They're probably the only Link 3s you would ever play in this deck. I don't know what other Link 3s you would really play. Maybe the Trisbania card if you can find room, but there honestly isn't that much room in the extra deck for cards. So 2 Galatea, again, there's not enough room to play the 3rd. It does come up. There is situations in which you're going to be like, oh, I wish I had a 3rd Galatea, but it doesn't come up often enough for me to warrant playing the 3rd one. So I'm just going to stick it at 2. 1 Needle Fiber. This card's too good. 1 IP just for the interruptions. Lib. It's a really good card in this deck. Being able to non-target shuffle something is insane, and ending with these 2 on board is just so powerful. Then we have 1 Union Carrier for the Best of Sword lock, 1 Scrap Wyvern for the scrap combos, 1 Nightmare Phoenix. Honestly, I'm thinking about maybe cutting this because I don't really make it that often. Any situation where you can make a Link 2, you can make Galatea and then just go into Ding to pop something that's like hurting you. So it doesn't really come up that often, but I guess it's really good against like Summon Limit, but other than that, it hasn't really come up that often with me. And then the last Link monster, I'm playing Link Karibo just for the Gearsu combo. And then for the XYZs, I'm actually playing Tuding, and I'm playing the Abyss Dweller. Just because going turn 1 against Eldritch and summoning Abyss Dweller is just pretty much game. There's not much they can do from that situation. So yeah, that's it for the extra deck. And I'm not going to do a side because I feel like a side deck, it just depends on where you go in. If you go into a big tournament, then obviously side for the meta. If you go into locals, then it just depends on your locals, what's being played at your locals. I'll probably try and include stuff like Nibiru just for stuff like Salad, because I feel like Salad is quite popular at locals, like a lot of locals. I know it's popular at mine, so yeah, just throw in whatever cards you think are going to be good against decks that you're going to be playing. But yeah, that's it for my deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and thank you very much.